The Shawl Smorgasbord is a new shawl pattern that I just released, and I'm really excited about this one because it uses a lot of colors and there's tons of stitch patterns that are always changing. So it's one of those shawls that never gets bored, like brioche. You're always bored, right? So you need a lot of eyelet stitches to keep you entertained. Yeah, so I designed Shawl Smorgasbord inspired by all these eyelet stitches you see, and it's really easy. It's just knits and purls, and there's some video links in the pattern to get you started to cast on and how to bind off and how to work the crisscross stitch. So the crisscross stitch is a new tutorial that I made, so that's linked in the pattern, and you can learn how to make that fun elongated crisscross stitch. But if you've knit Fantastitch or any of my other colorwork shawls, then you're gonna love Shawl Smorgasbord, and it uses single skeins. So if you get 7 colors, 7 different colors, 1 skein each, that's gonna be enough yarn to knit the shawl. And this pattern, I used Life in the Long Grass singles. So we put a lot of kits together to get you inspired by how the color style works for this shawl. So if you want to collect a kit, they're at stephenandpenelope.com. And we featured Life in the Long Grass. And we have some other beautiful brands and colors as well to inspire you for the Shawl Smorgasbord. But with Life in the Long Grass, they have some solid colors and some speckled colors as well. So I mixed them. You'll see a lot of speckles mixed with solids in this shawl, because I find whenever you mix solids with those painterly colors, you get that crispy contrast that I'm just obsessed with. So this was one of the kits called Coral Emerald, and it uses a lot of semi-solid colors, but it has some splashy neutrals as well. This beautiful gold color called Gorse just really shines in the shawl. So this is more of a multicolor palette. So if you like that crispy graphic contrast, then get 7 colors, 7 different colors. And if you like the contrast, get something light, medium, and dark. So get a really, really dark color, like that dark emerald. Get a really, really light color, like a neutral, a beige, or a silver. And get some medium colors, like purples and coral. So this has a nice balanced contrast because it's not all light, it's not all dark. You get that nice movement throughout all the textures, like garter stitch, mesh. There's some basket weave eyelets that I haven't put in a shawl before. And I just love that knit purl texture broken up with eyelets. It gives that woven effect to the fabric. So this is the Coral Emerald palette, and this is the sample. So I always love seeing how the yarn looks on its own and then seeing how it looks in the fabric, and it's totally different how the colors interact and move around. So when you're picking out colors for Shawl Smorgasbord, I don't want you to worry about color placement too much because all the colors mix and dance around. So when you see yellow with the beige, the next time you're gonna see yellow on its own or yellow next to another color. So the colors mix and dance around. So when you see one color in one way, you'll see it in a different way later in the shawl. And it just gives you a nice movement and a fascination to see what's gonna happen next in the fabric. If you're a bit of a planner, then I'm gonna give you a few tips, okay? Because 7 colors is a lot. So get 7 colors, and if you're like, where do I start? You could start with your favorite 2 colors for the top center of the shawl. It begins with garter stitch. So colors A and B, just pick 2 colors that you like striped together and go from there. But if you're planning a little bit, if you have multicolor yarns, I think those look really good in the crisscross sections. Look at those beautiful big eyelet holes with those elongated crisscross stitches. Those are colors, color D is gonna be used for one of those crisscrosses. So if you have a multicolor, then put that as color D, or a speckly color. Color D is gonna look really good in that crisscross, and you're gonna see that crisscross again with color A. So if you have a really inspirational skein, start with it as color A at the very beginning of the shawl, and you're gonna see that color A as one of the crisscross stitches as well. And then just place your colors in any other order, okay? The very final thing that might influence your color placement is colors C and D. So there's 7 colors, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Colors C and D are the border. So if you're like, I don't really care what happens in the body, the colors are all gonna move and dance around, what are you gonna finish with? Pick colors C and D as the striping eyelet colors that you're gonna see in the border. And the bind off, I used color C for the bind off. So that'll give you a little bit of a starting point to place your colors. But honestly, you can just put your colors in any order you like, and it's gonna look amazing. And when you're laying out your colors, put like a dark color next to a bright color. And then the next color could be something else contrasting, and then put it next to a light, and then maybe that color next to a neutral. So just lay out your colors and cast on, and you'll be surprised how it looks in the end. It's just so much fun and really addicting to knit. So I made this really scrappy version. So it's a great pattern to dive into your stash and mix little bits of yarn. I used about 12 or 15 shades in this sample. And when I ran out of yarn, I just grabbed another color and let that be part of the process and the excitement of knitting this shawl. But when the pattern is written, when you're following it, I tell you exactly where to place 7 colors. So get those 7 colors, dive into your stash, or check out our kits at Stephen and Penelope, and that we'll do all the color choosing for you. And 7 colors is all you need to knit the Shawl Smorgasbord. But if you grab some little stash bits, you could spice up your kit with some little leftovers that you have in your stash as well. So always use my shawls as a landscape to paint with your own colors and make it extra unique. And I can't wait to see all your progress photos for this one. So tag those with hashtag Shawl Smorgasbord on Instagram so I can like them and get inspired for my next color palettes as well. And all the kits you can find at stephenandpenelope.com. So I don't know what's gonna happen next after this shawl because I used every single eyelet stitch texture I can find. But what do you think? Maybe I could do like another really big whole one, a lacy shawl next. I did lots of eyelets. What do you think my next shawl should be? Should I do like more slip stitches or maybe a cabled version? Ooh, maybe I need to do a big 7-skein schlanket with cables because I did the eyelets here. And if you get any kit, you can also make the Fantastitch. So this was kind of the shawl that inspired the vibe of Shawl Smorgasbord. And any of the Shawl Smorgasbord kits also work for Fantastitch. So I love all these slip stitches and textures and these types of shawls that just never get boring with the constant color changes. So check out the Fantastitch for a more solid version. Shawl Smorgasbord, more summery. I think winter, we need like a cabled chaos, explosive schlanket. Okay, I'm gonna get busy. I'm gonna collect some colors and cast on, and can't wait to see you in the next video. There's a lot more fun stuff coming later this summer. So I'll see you later.